Hey everybody, this is Peter Palmiotti, and I created this group, creator owned, on Facebook a few years ago. Don't mind me if I get distracted by my cat. That's just typical. Um, and it was always my mission with it to make it a group where uh, fellow comic creators could work together and help each other and provide resources and information and get eyes on other people's projects and just work together. um, so that's the mission without it being a fancy sentence or two. And but for it to be a strong community, and I want to put this out there that I'll do it in the group. But okay, so uh, you know, part of Facebook group abilities is you can add files, you can do recommendation, you can do documents, and you can create events. Somewhere down the line, I would love to create an event for the group, somewhere central located to where people within the group can all get together and we could have a party, as well as maybe, like, I guess, this kind of sort of convention. um anybody in the group wants to get in touch with me, just message me on my Facebook profile page. We could talk about it. But add files is like, I would love to, like, start some files on resources, on books of things that will help you draw to traditionally or digitally. Of course, they're mowing the lawn. I'm sorry if you hear any of that, or my cats. Oh boy, it's loud. Yeah, they're right out my window. I'll just speak louder. Uh, yeah, any resources you have and want to add to the group, you, when you do a post, you could do more, and it has those different options. And I would love to see people start applying the applying all that. Um, some of the basic rules early on, and I addressed the group and asked what was positively on their mind as do's and don'ts, and two of which was no nudity and no blood and gore. Meaning, if you have artwork that has nudity or blood and gore, or if it's a link that shows a picture that has nudity or blood and gore, that was not acceptable. The post will be deleted. I believe, I could be wrong, I believe I'm the only one who can add, who can uh, delete posts, but I don't know, maybe everybody could do that. But I definitely try to keep an eye out for nudity or blood and gore. Here's my kitty cat. Don't sit on the page. um, and the other thing was, give everybody a shot to be able to post. So that goes under, don't post twice within a 24-hour period. Sometimes I let somebody go because they have something exciting development within 24 hours, and that's it's okay. But the group is now, it's getting close to 1,200 people. is blowing my mind. There's been so many people wanting to join within just the last couple of months, and I'm all for that. And I don't think anybody else in the group minds. You know, anything they post is potentially seen by that much more eyes. Whether anybody does anything about it is like totally up to them individually. Um, you know, I like to make the most of the group, and for it to be a lot more effective, that, you know, anybody who posts in there is getting interaction. So I asked, you know, put it out there to the group, what, you know, what struck their mind as good or potentially great for the group. And you know, the first thing up was show interest in others' work. You know, you post in the group, be a part of the community. You know, don't just post and leave. Post and check out what everybody else is posting, and like, and, you know, click on the links, check out their artwork, follow them, you know, on their social sites, be a lot more in depth, you know, kind of what I do. You know, I try to check them out online, and what are they selling, but, you know, usually, like, in most cases, like, if I tell somebody I shared their post, it's usually on Twitter, because I find that I get a lot more traction on Twitter as far as putting things out there. And I do know, you know, you could tell by the stats and whatnot that it's, you know, people's eyes are on it, and some clicks, and, you know, I don't have the biggest Twitter account. It's growing slowly. So yeah, the show interest in other people's work. I think that's really important. You know, um, like I said earlier, like, it is definitely like um, something I want this group to be more about, which is helping each other out. Um, So one person said, "Be cool, don't be a fool." You know, be cool. And 98% of the people in the group and the posts that you know, they have posted, have been cool. There were a few fools, and I'll cite an example here. Um, there was somebody who posted a question in the group. It wasn't in promoting their comic. It wasn't promoting artwork. They didn't post a link to anything. It was just straighten out, um, uh, uh, just a question, just a question, which I would love to see more of, because, you know, that's dynamite. I love that. And if I was on top of that, you know, I was busy that day or whatever, but if I saw that, I might have even pinned it. But unfortunately, you know, I just missed it. And then the guy, I'm going to ignore my phone. This is what happens when you go live. So yeah, so he posted it, and in just under 24 hours, he posted a comment underneath it saying, "This group is bullshit." Um, you know, yada yada yada, whatever. You know, he went off into it. It wasn't a rant, but it was just like one sentence of, you know, is nobody cares in this group, which, you know, like, it just got lost in the shuffle, dude. You know, people have to go scroll down to see all the new posts. The ones that get comments on them rise to the top, so it gets, if there's no interaction on a post, it gets pushed pushed down, down, down. So then somebody flagged the post or flagged him, and the next day I saw that and I just booted him out of the group, and deleted the comment. Well, his whole post, actually. It's just not, that's not cool. That is a fool. If you post a question, and nobody replies within a day, maybe just comment on the post and maybe it will float to the top. Say, I'm really looking for help and I could use anyone's experience in the yada, yada, yada. That would be very helpful. Or just, direct message me. I don't care. Just let me know that you had a question and it's been there for a while, and you didn't have any interaction. People are busy. Everybody has a different schedule. People are looking at this stuff in the phone. Whatever the case may be. In that particular case, it just got missed. Somebody commented, "Keep indie." That they didn't want to see any DC or Marvel, I don't know, I guess fan art or posts. I did post something there recently about Dave Gibbons, who I love. And unfortunately, the cover for it had a popular character. It wasn't my intention, and I would have changed it if I could. But I'll keep that in mind next time. I'll delete the link picture. But that is kind of true. And I think, other than my post, I don't think I've ever seen a Marvel or DC character. This is creator owned. This is about people who create their own comics, who make their own comics. It's all about being indie comics, independent comics, however you wish to label it. And yeah, it's like, I'm all for independent comics. I got, a bunch of projects in the mix right now, and I'm going to be doing web comics and self-publish, and a few things with some other people coming up. Anything I could do to support others, I've been doing since the beginning of my career, and even before that. Beginning of my career was 1991. I have worked for Marvel and DC, but I've also worked for Image and a little bit Dark Horse. Valiant, of course, was a big one. Defiant for a little bit. And many independent publishers. Glenda Knight Studios was one. Red Anvil. I'm just tossing out names now, but I totally believe in the future of comics is independent comics, and if anybody within the group, anybody watching this video knows how to promote independent comics better, then put it in the group and we'll start a discussion on it. I'd love that personally. How do we support the independent comics overall, and how do we support individual creators? Lots, there have been so many tragedies in the news, weather and just crazy stuff going on. How can we reach out to individuals, individual comic makers, or even outside of that? If we as a group want to support, like, you know, victims of hurricanes or storms or, you know, earthquakes, or shootouts, you know, a recent event. You know, how could we promote that within the group? And lastly, you know, I'm going to do a Q&A in a second. I see there's some people in the chat. Lastly, project spotlights. This is something I thought of originally, and we could do it as a file. Well, maybe as an event, we could set up. You know, we could pin stuff to the top of the group, or I can pin stuff, and we can spotlight a particular, you know, comic that's just been released. It's easy to say Kickstarter, you know, or in Indiegogo, or somebody's Patreon page, you know. But you know, there is, for however many people taking advantage of those options, I believe still, you know, there's still the majority who, whatchamacallit, are just, you know, just producing comics and putting them out there, and, you know, getting them into Diamond, or just simply pay as you go. I don't know, digital options online, and or just selling them out of the back of their truck. You know, however they're doing it, and we can, you know, take advantage of the group and what you could do within a Facebook group, and, you know, use the pin option to spotlight a particular creator, and really, you know, like get some 10x kind of more eyes on his product, and potentially sell more of his books, or, you know, posters or pinups or whatever of his book in creation. So yeah, pin is an option, events is an option. Heck, you know, we can add a file of just ongoing, you know, books released. You know, these are the books that released by the individuals in this group during October, and so on, November, and so on. And I think that's a great idea. And, you know, yeah, I was just trying to figure out many different ways in order to do that successfully. So we can always try things involved and whatnot. So I'm going to, let's see, we got 6 people in the chat currently. Hey. Hi, everybody. So does anybody watching have a question in regards specifically to creator owned, its rules, tips, or mission? If not, you know, I'm going to wrap this up, but definitely appreciate everybody coming around. Cat on, I can't, Sheena 4525 is here. I know you, man, you go by different names on different sites. So, and then we have Luke Rushton. Yes, hello guys. So nobody specifically seems to have a question. So I'm just gonna wrap this up. What I'm gonna do is, obviously you'll know, but I'm gonna put this in the group description, and you know, anybody entering now has the option, I guess, to answer a question. I'm going to put that within the questions. You know, have you watched this video? Because I think it would be very helpful, you know, for new members to know all the basic rules and tips, and also what we're about. So I appreciate everybody who's watched the video. Please comment below If there's any more tips or rules that you can think of, I'm willing to make an updated version every, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. I'll do one with flashcards next time. So you don't see my pretty face all the time. But yeah, so this will be in the group, and yeah, comment, give it a like so that more eyes can see it across the YouTube universe. My small little channel gets lost in the mix many a time. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'm wanting to grow this group, and I have other groups on Facebook and my YouTube channel. I am a YouTuber and an artist and an entrepreneur and a comic maker. Love you all, and hope to see you soon, and hope to see you in person. We'll do events down the line, definitely. All right, peace.